All right, we're back. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Critics Collective. Today, we will be discussing Elevation, the newest film by Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin that is now in theaters. Okay, but before we get into that, if you guys do enjoy our reviews on all things media, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, the alert button, and join the collective community. Every little bit of movement helps the channel. Every little bit helps us be able to continue to give you guys content that we love to bring you guys. All right, so if you haven't seen the trailer, the IMDb description goes as follows: a single father and two women venture from the safety of their homes to face monstrous creatures to save the life of a young boy. All right, there we go. IMDb again being a little vague. So basically, the situation and the reason the movie is called Elevation, there are these creatures that have burrowed from the ground. And they cannot go higher than 8,000 feet. So for safety, everybody has made these colonies and tried to survive the best they can as high up as they can at an elevation of 8,000 feet or higher. And of course, we end up in a situation where they need to venture below the line in order to save the life of Anthony Mackie's character, son, who needs some medical supplies. So it's the story we have here. Now, my initial impression when I came across this and I saw the creatures and the aliens, I immediately thought that this was not for me because I don't like gory stuff. But I am a fan of Anthony Mackie. I do want him to succeed. I do want him to be greater than he is, more than just somebody that Marvel made great. I mean, I know he's done stuff before and I know he's done stuff since. And I just don't feel like he gets the recognition that he needs. So I wanted to support. When I saw it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to support. I'm going to push through and hope that this is not too gory for me. And so here we are. Now let's go ahead and get into my highs and my lows. So as you heard about this post-apocalyptic setting, I actually love the way it set it up. It's only 3 years after the world that we know today. Much like A Quiet Place, like there are very few colonies of these elevated that's over 8,000 feet, and they're surviving as well as they can. And of course, now we're in a situation where they have to venture below the line in a dangerous setting in order and deal with these creatures to go get this medicine. And so I really like the setup. I didn't need any backstory. You know, not every story needs it. Some genres can simply just throw you in a situation. And the only thing that matters is how do we survive the situation that we've set up here. And that's what this movie is. It basically gives you a setting and it gives you the agenda and it gives you the obstacle in that setting. And you just need to figure out, you know, how are they going to survive the situation? The objective was clear. So I was very good with that. I understood it. It wasn't 100% original. But this is one of those movies where it's like, hey, we're just trying to find a new way to entertain you, and I was okay with that. So I didn't need it to be, super original. The look of the creatures I thought was cool. I really liked them. We did have them in very limited spurts, but I thought that was smart because seeing the creatures in a very limited was smart for the budget, for the play on the budget, because it's been reported to be at like 18 million. So to get a major film with this much CG involved and then to get some notable actors in here, I thought that was for 18 million. I actually thought they managed that budget perfectly. So now let's get into the lows. The writing was spotty, starting with the lead character that Anthony Mackie played. I felt like that there was a strong level of stupidity. The lead character, he was a walking contradiction. There was a grudge he was holding. And I really can't go any more details without spoiling you guys, but I feel like he was just a walking contradiction. And if you guys ever want to discuss that further, then, you know, hit me up in the comments and then we can have that out. But it was just frustrating. It was annoying because of the level of stupidity that I felt like was exuding from this character. I don't feel like they thought it all the way through. The one character that was smart and making all the sense in the world, they villainized that character to a certain point. And that, I feel like, even though that didn't last the entire movie, I felt like that villainization should have been put on the lead character. I feel like the lead character, based on what he had been through, it would make sense if their personas were swapped. If the lead character, if Anthony Mackie's character would have been more of the villain based on the reaction of what he had endured prior to this movie and not being able to handle it a certain way, and then being forced into the situation he's forced to. Now, I know that would have taken a lot more creativity with the writing, and then maybe that's why it bothered me, because I felt like this was just too easy. Nobody was really thinking. And I wanted to. I like a flawed character. I like a flawed lead character, but I felt like this one was just. It's okay if they're flawed and their flaws make sense, like they did with the other character that I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil. But their flaws made sense based on what they've been through. Anthony Mackie's character's flaws did not make sense. It was just like somebody was just looking for a reason for conflict. And he, like I said, he was a walking contradiction. So if you guys want to hit me up in the comments and want to discuss that further, I am wide open to that. And we can spoil in the comments. We can spoil in the comments. But I don't want to do it for this movie because I do want to give you guys a chance to go out there and make your own opinion without giving you too much. Now, another low for me is that the scary moments and the things that they could, and the kills that they were offering in the movie, I don't feel like it was enough. We needed more. And I'm not even like a gory kill type, but this type of movie is built around the suspense of trying to survive this situation. And we didn't have enough of it. It's hard to create suspense when you know that the two lead characters are going to survive the majority of the movie. And there was only 3 people on this journey. Okay, so what they should have done to create more moments of suspense is maybe involved a lot more people in this journey, maybe 6 people total. And if you got lesser characters, then you can take your time picking them off one by one as we create all these moments of suspense and scare and trying to survive. But the lore that they created of these creatures and what they're capable of, what they could do, it was very mute and it was very limited. And then once we just got to a certain point where I wasn't really worried. I wasn't worried for the characters that were on the screen because I knew that I didn't know they was fully survive if they would survive the movie as a whole, but I knew early on that this isn't going to be their time. They're definitely going to get further into the movie, so it created a lack of suspense. I wasn't really worried. I was just kind of waiting to find out how we're going to get to the next phase of the movie. So that was a big letdown for me. They wrote themselves into a corner with a couple of characteristics of the creatures. Again, something that I would just really love to talk about in depth. But in order for me to break this down for you guys, it would be a complete spoiler. All right. And I don't want to take that experience away from you guys. But like I said, hit me in the comments. We can talk about it. But there's some characteristics or rules of the universe they created on these creatures that I felt like it just blew itself wide open when you started actually really thinking about the rules of it all. And then, of course, as we reached the end, the writing was already spotty. But as we reached the end, the movie completely fell apart with the writing. I was just like, what? It was a major letdown after all of that. And then the spottiness of the end, things that were happening that should absolutely have not have happened based on the world that you've created and the things that you've just showed us. It was just like, let's just tie this up real nice. It was like whoever the writers just had tunnel vision. It was very disappointing. Clearly, you can tell that my rating is not going to be high. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and rate this thing. But I do want you guys, if you have seen this movie, you're hearing this review, and you do have a rating, please let us know in the comments how you're going to rate this film. Remember, we got the 5 accolades, 5 scales. So let us know how many accolades you're going to give this movie in the comments, and let's have a discussion about it. For those of you who haven't seen this movie yet, I'm going to go ahead, for everybody, I'm just going to actually go ahead and share with you guys what my rating is. All right, so this is our accolade system here, the Critics Collective. 5 accolades is for excellent, must-watch, highly recommended for all viewers. Good. 4 accolades for good, worth watching, but has notable flaws. 3 accolades, average, some enjoyable moments, but lack significant impact. 2 accolades, below average, some redeeming qualities, but generally disappointing. 1 accolade, poor quality, not recommended, and 0 accolades is horrible, absolute trash. All right, so for me, this movie had so much potential, and the gore was not a factor here, so that was very pleasing to me. Okay, and the setup was very simple, and I thought it should have been. There should have been no reason this couldn't have been executed well, and they maximized the budget. But all of those things that brought me down. So I'm gonna actually have to give this 2 accolades. It's below average for me. some redeeming qualities, but generally just disappointing. And I wanted to go lower. Because I was really upset when I left it, but I have to still think about what they did achieve. A lot of the stuff that's bothering me may go over a lot of other people's heads because they're not looking at it from the writer's standpoint. They just want those scares in that moment. And this movie does give you that. It gives you a situation, survival, there's a threat. There's some intense scenes, and then the movie's over. So it's going to deliver that. It did deliver that to a certain degree. I just wanted a lot more, as you heard with my critique. Yeah, so I could go on and on. I'm trying not to spoil, so I'm just gonna step away from this before I do too much. All right. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you share this video, keep the conversation going. Again, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, alert button, and join the collective community, because we want to do everything we can to boost this channel so we can continue to give you guys content. All right. So again, this was Elevation 2024. It is in theaters now for a limited time. Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin are your two leads, and I think they look great on camera. You guys, please go watch it and let me know your thoughts. And then once we get in the comments, I can share with you guys those critical moments that brought me down, and I'm actually looking forward to discussing it with you guys. All right, so this is the Critics Collective. I am Eddie Lingo, also known as Legacy Lingo, and we will see you guys on the next one.